Hi everyone, this is Thibaut, CEO of PlayPlay, and welcome to a new episode of The Three Learnings From, a podcast where leaders in marketing and communication come and share some key learnings from their career. Today, I'm very happy to welcome Matt Heinz, President of Heinz Marketing. Matt is a highly respected B2B influencer, a keynote speaker, is also author and radio host. Hi, Matt.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Matt, it's really great to have you. And let's start with your first learning, which I think is about some of your core values.
Yeah, and I think what's some things that I think are really important to me. That I think the longer I live, the more mistakes I make. One of the key things for me is to just be humble, and to work hard. My parents are from the Midwest of the United States, and they just taught me to just really respect hard work, to put in the effort, but also just to sort of keep your hard hat on and do the work and don't talk about it. And I think that's I've been trying to lead by example with our team, lead by example with my children as well. Just that work hard, be humble, stay kind, are some key tenets that are going to help you get through life and work and business and all of the above.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Let's move to the second learning. This one I think is about the people you choose to work with.
Yeah, a number of years ago, I was at a conference and Eric Schmidt, who at the time was the CEO of Google, was being interviewed. And someone, one of the questions to him was, I hear that you took the job at Google without really knowing that much about their business strategy, without knowing much about like what the product strategy and what their roadmap was. And he says, no, it's true. He said, I spent time with the co-founders and some time with the board and the executives. And he kind of paused and he says, look, he says, life is short. Life is short. Work with people you enjoy. And that's really stuck with me, that whether you own your own company or whether you are a rock star working somewhere else, you get to choose who you work with. And you can make a lot of money and you could be on a fast growing company, but if you don't enjoy the people you work with, that's going to be a slog. So I've really taken that to heart and said, I think about how do you manifest that idea of, work with people you enjoy into your hiring, into your values? How do you create and manifest a set of values in a culture in a business? It fosters the kind of people you want to spend time with. So yeah, that's been a really important one that I think quite a bit about.
That's very interesting. And would you say that as a candidate, when you apply for a job into a very sexy company, you should also assess the fit that you have with people, even that sometimes you tick all the boxes about the company, about the growth, about the salary. If the fit is not good, it's a warning.
I think so. I think that when you're looking for a job, obviously they're interviewing you, but you should be interviewing them as well. You should have a sense for what is the culture that I want to work in. What's the working environment and what's the working relationship I want to have with my colleagues, with my peers, with my team. That should be something you're sort of assessing within the organization as well. And, just as, a hiring company might back channel information about you, I think it's important for you to back channel and learn a little bit about the company, find out from other people, what's it like to work there? What's it like when things get hard? I mean, a lot of people are very nice to each other on sunny days, when the winds are calm, when there's not a lot of, challenges. But like when what hits the fan, when things get hard, how do people act with each other? That's going to go a long ways to determining whether this is a company. Look, every single company, whether you're dealing with a pandemic or not, faces challenges, faces headwinds. How do you deal with it? How do you approach it? How do you handle it together? That is a key part of understanding whether this is a group of people that you want to essentially go to battle with.
Very interesting. Thanks, Matt. Let's move to learning number 3. This one is a metaphor, so I'll let you explain.
Yeah, well, it's a metaphor, but it's also an instruction, sort of a, if you get on an airplane and you go through the whole safety message at the beginning of the flight, one of the things they tell you is, listen, if we lose oxygen, these masks are going to come down. And your instinct is to help your children. Your instinct maybe to help those around you, but they explicitly tell you put your mask on first. And it sounds like, I remember when I first started being aware of what that meant, I'm thinking that sounds kind of selfish. Shouldn't you be helping others first? But you can't help others unless you take care of yourself. You can't be of maximum use to other people and to be as helpful and valuable unless you're doing self-care. And so the message to me is like, listen, like if you put yourself last, you're not going to have enough energy left to continue giving to others. So it means everything from get enough sleep, drink enough water, go out and exercise, get away from your computer, get away from your work, find a hobby that can take your brain entirely away from what you do. It may be hard for people that feel like, oh, I'm always on all the time and that's valuable. It's like you cannot sustain doing that. So, there is no common playbook for putting your own oxygen mask on first that works for everybody. But I would just, look, the longer I live and the more mistakes I make, the more I realize how important that self-care is to being more useful, valuable for those around me.
Very interesting. Well, we are already done. Thanks a lot, Matt, for these very inspirational learnings. That was great. Thanks for taking the time.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks. And to all the listeners and viewers, stay tuned for the next episodes. Bye.